Hello, I've got my glasses on today. You can tell I'm going to read. My name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about Mabon. It's a very tricky, for some pagans, it's a very tricky festival because we're not quite sure what we're doing. We know it's around the autumnal or fall equinox, but what does that mean and how do we celebrate and what do we do? Right, okay then. The thing to remember about all the pagan festivals is we can tell a lot about them by the festivals that replace them. That's very important. You know, you have a festival like Christmas that replaces Yule. You have a festival like All Saints and All Souls. November the 1st is All Saints, November the 2nd is All Souls. And you're trying to, it follows on then from Halloween or Samhain. And it's got that element of death and the other worlds and you know, crossing between worlds. They all have this kind of element to them. But what about Mabon? Well, you see, the thing about Mabon is that it was replaced almost on September the 29th with the festival of St Michael the Archangel. Now, in early Christian iconography, and even much later, St Michael, being an archangel, was a pretty important chap. He really was. He was, you know, he was right at the top of his hierarchy, and he was not put there unless there was some significance. Now, the thing about him was he was a dragon slayer. Now, dragons were often associated in early church teachings with devils and things like that. But actually we know that dragons had several purposes, one of which was to guard treasure. So they are associated with the earth and caves and holes in the earth and pools. And so you must ask yourself, all right, St Michael is a little bit after the equinox. Why? Well, partly the equinox changes days. It can do. It can be the 21st, 22nd, you know. But also, I think because Mabon, the equinox festival, was so important, I really believe it was a very important festival, that people needed time to get over it before they could slot in their Christian equivalent. Otherwise, people were not going to celebrate St Michael because they'd still be off celebrating the equinox. So the thing about the equinox is that it's a very unsettling time, always. Whether it's in March, whether it's in September, it's unsettling. When you have the solstice, you're going up to a point, if you like, up to the top of the hill. Get to the solstice, down the other side. With the equinox, you're in the middle. Equal day, equal night. And it's a bit like balancing. I don't know whether any of you ever did it when you were children, but it's a bit like balancing on a piece of wood, on a plank, if you like, on top of a rolling log. And you're like this with it, and you're not quite one side or the other, so it is an unsettling time. And I believe that whatever it was that was really being celebrated at that time of year, nothing less than an archangel and a dragon slayer could replace it. I think about that. And another thing about St Michael that I find very, very interesting is why he is often shown in carvings and paintings with the mask of a green man, either on his armour, on his leg, or somewhere close. Now I find that very interesting, very, very pagan. And I think it shows the importance of the festival. Now we might not be able to recover the originals. Sometimes originals are lost and they take a lot of unpicking to find the meaning of them. But I did write years ago, I wrote this book, Seeking the Green, which is about to come out again soon. I'm going to republish it with the Wolf and Howl Press. But in it, I did write a number of little invocations and thoughts and meditations for each festival. And I thought I would read you some of the ones for Mabon, and maybe it will help to get you in the mood for this festival. So, here we go. Back to the magnifier. The year is drawing to its close. Nature prepares to sleep. But seeds of love lie in my heart, hidden, silent, sleeping deep. Now I find those sort of little meditations, little invocations, it's a way to me to greet the day. You're greeting it with a thought of what you mean to go on. Because magically, you see, magically you don't always have to do things. You can say. Your speech is very important. It's not just about gesture. It's also about speech. And this is another bit, another little meditation. So hopefully you'll find this one helpful too. The sun god's strength has failed him. Chill air, torn sky, bright berries, all we have to remember him by. The goddess is old and wise yet firm. She takes us in her arms, offers all the gifts she has, whispering, hush, he will return. I think that's a nice idea too. You have them, because the goddess doesn't die. The god does. The goddess doesn't. And I think it's just a nice imagery that she's got old, she's like a grandma, and she's cwtching us up. Cwtch, for those of you outside Wales who are listening, cwtch is a Welsh word. Means to hug, to gather, to cuddle. Has lots of other meanings too, but cwtch. She cwtches us up and she says, no, don't worry about it, it's all right, you know. The summer's going to come again. The sun god, the oak king, whatever you want to call it, he's going to come again. Anyway, there we are. I have rabbited on quite long enough on that topic. Thank you ever so much for listening. Goodbye.